Once again, good afternoon, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. My name is Joseph Kolawole Adebola. I am the host to another of our usual weekly Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Conference. It is exactly 10 minutes past 4, and we are about to kickstart the program now. So I say once, thank you, and once again, welcome to this program. Today's program is very special for so many reasons, which I'll be explaining later on. But in the meantime, as is usual of us, I will seek your indulgence to please stand up for our national anthem, which will be played right about now before we will kickstart the program. So shall we all please be standing while the national anthem is being played? Thank you very much. Huge apologies to the House. There seems to be a bit of a technical glitch with our system. In the next 1 minute, the national anthem will be played. And once it is ready, well, please let us all stand up for the national anthem before we start the program. And once again, my apologies for the technical hitch. These things do happen sometimes when you're dealing with technology. There's been a bit of a glitch, and we're just trying to resolve it now because we need the national anthem to be played before we start the program. So that will be on in about 1 minute now. Thank you so very much. So can we please stand up now for the national anthem? Thank you so very much for that. And once again, apologies for that glitch. Sometimes when you deal with technology, things like that do happen. The chief host for this virtual conference, and I once again welcome you all to our usual weekly global virtual town hall conference. Host Honorable Bishop Jacob Obushe Haji Ariki Bello Abubakar, Deme Ukwesh Shombayi, also known as Boyo, and Tosin Olayinka, who will be assisting me as usual in moderating today's conference to ensure smooth and uninterrupted deliberation. I wish to inform you that this conference is streaming live across the social CEO of the first Nigerian African digital TV channel, held by CEO Alastair Shoyode. Many thanks, sir, for your support and assistance always. This conference, as usual, is a weekly conference, and looking through the whole, I can see new faces and old participants who join us on a weekly basis. Thank you so very much. At the end of the program, we will be mentioning, our stakeholders and our leaders who have always been in support of this program. In the meantime, on behalf of the team behind the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference, I welcome you all to this session. We have a few updates that I need to let the House know, which are our website address, which is the www.renewedhopeglobalconference.com, and our email address, which is also posted in chat room, is info@renewedhopeglobalconference.com. I repeat, info@renewedhopeglobalconference.com. Participants and viewers across the globe are encouraged to use this email address to forward their questions to us prior to each week's conference. Those questions will be forwarded to our special guest of the week, and we will and those will be the first set of questions to be dealt with by our VVIP before we open the floor for answers. Our YouTube channel is always the link is always posted on the chat room. Please have a look at it and take note of it. We also have a WhatsApp group called the Renewed Hope UK. This is meant to give those in the group an opportunity to have first-hand information about our activities, and especially about our special guests and VVIPs. And any participant that is interested in joining the WhatsApp group is at liberty to leave their details in the chat room, and we will forward to you the link to join. There's also a dedicated telephone number for the purpose of sending your questions or suggestions on how to better serve you before each conference. The telephone number is +44 758 695 1574. I repeat, +44 758 695 1574. The joining link to the WhatsApp group is also posted in the chat room for your attention. Today, as usual, we have in our midst one of the top VVIP from the administration of President Tinubu. The VVIP heads one of the most important offices of this administration, as his responsibility is so huge and is one of the security architecture, as well as at the heart of maintaining law and order in the land. In the next 2 hours or thereabout, our distinguished VVIP will be taking us through the activities, achievements, and challenges of the law enforcement agency he heads as the Inspector General of Police of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Our topic for today is maintaining the peace, strategies for monitoring, reporting, and preventing crime. Before I proceed, please permit me to run through the rules of engagement on this virtual conference. All participants will remain muted until they have the floor to join in the discussion of the day. Any participant who wishes to participate by fielding a question to our guest of honor should please raise their hand by using the hand icon at the bottom of the screen. When you are given the floor to contribute, one of my co-hosts will unmute you, and please do have your video on as we want to see who is speaking to us. And firstly, introduce yourself and where you are joining us from, followed by your question. In order to ensure every participant has equal opportunity to participate in our deliberation, you have a maximum of 1 minute to contribute to this conference. And please go straight to the point so we can save time and give others a chance to also participate. Please be advised that the system is programmed to mute upon reaching the 1 minute maximum time allowed. So do not be offended if this happens while you're still speaking. It simply means the time allowed is up, and we will go to the next participant in the queue. And as usual, we will have a good. You can chat to the host in the chat room, and my co-host will respond to your inquiries. During the question and answer time, we will be taking 3 or 4 questions from participants, then yield the floor to our special guest of honor to respond to those questions. Once again, I welcome you all to this renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. This platform, as you all know, was set up as a veritable vehicle for interaction between Nigerians across the globe and our leaders in Nigeria. These are the people that hold the apron strings of our country and are steering the ship of our fatherland with a view to enlightening our people regarding the inner workings of the administration of the day. And today, as usual, we will be exploring another segment of President Tinubu's vision and policies in an interactive session with one of the big shots within this government, who will be dissecting President Tinubu's administration, shedding light on his significant achievements and forward-looking plans as encapsulated in the renewed hope agenda upon which the president campaigned, and we all gave him the mandate as well as the golden keys to Asobila on the 25th of February 2023. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I'm pleased to announce that, well, I've just been told that the Inspector General of Police, unfortunately, is at a crucial meeting with the president at the moment, but he has graciously sent in emissaries to us from his exalted office. So we have a couple of our top police officers in our midst today who will be fielding questions from our participants. And of course, some of the questions that has been sent in has been sent first to them, and that will be dealt with firstly. Then we will go into the question and answer session. But before that does not mean that we will not formally introduce our special guest. But before I do a formal introduction of our special guest of honor, please let me run through an introduction of the law enforcement agency he heads as the Inspector General of Police, IGP. The Nigerian Police Force is the principal law enforcement and the lead security agency in Nigeria. Designed by the 1999 Constitution as the National Police of Nigeria, with exclusive jurisdiction throughout the country. As of 2021, it has staff strength of about 371,800 personnel. The ratio of police officers to citizens in Nigeria, the current The country currently has a ratio of 1 police officer to 650 Nigerians, indicating a significant shortfall in the dual police strength and far below the United Nations recommendation of 1 police officer to 450 citizens. On August 30th, 2023, at the Defense Week for the Senior Executive Course SEC 45 at the National Institute of Policy and Strategic Studies (NIPS) in Jos, the then acting IGP, who is now our IGP, is quoted as saying, "The Nigerian police must recruit an additional 190,000 officers to secure the country adequately and to be at par with the United Nations recommendation. Inadequate manpower has resulted in no police presence and could hinder the federal government's industrialization efforts," he was quoted as saying. So let me go to the vision statement. To make Nigeria safer and more secure for economic development and growth, that's the mission statement, and to create a safe and secure environment for everyone living in Nigeria. And the mission statement states as follows: 1, to partner with other relevant security agencies and the public in gathering, collating, and sharing information and intelligence with intention to ensuring the safety and security of the country. 2, to participate in efforts aimed at addressing the root causes of crime while ensuring that any criminal act is investigated so as to bring the criminals to justice in a fair and professional manner. And 3, to engender an efficient, effective, well-trained, and highly motivated workforce with deliberate efforts aimed at improving the capacity and welfare of all officers and men of the force. 4thly, to build a people's friendly police force that will respect and uphold the fundamental rights of all citizens. And 5thly, to build a gender-sensitive and gender-friendly police force that will give equal opportunity to female police officers while at the same time respecting their peculiarities. Now I'll go on to the values. Working together with people irrespective of religious, political, social, or economic affiliations to 1, deliver quality police service that is accessible to the generality of the people, and 2, build a lasting trust in the police by members of the public, and 3, protect and uphold the rights of persons to be impartial and respectful in the performance of police duties. And 4th, continuously evaluate and improve police services. And 5, provide equal opportunities for career development for all members of the force. And 6, cooperate with all relevant government agencies and other stakeholders. Lastly, 7th, liaise with the Ministry of Police Affairs and the Police Service Commission to formulate and implement policies for the effective policing of Nigeria. Now, over to the profile of our Inspector General of Police, Dr. Kayode Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, the Inspector General of Police. Okay. Now, Dr. Kayode Egbetokun, PhD, NPM, joined the Nigerian Police Force as a Cadet Assistant Superintendent of Police ASP in Course 16 on March 3rd, 1990. He holds a bachelor's degree in mathematics, as well as a master's degree in engineering analysis and business administration, all from the University of Lagos. Furthermore, he earned a PhD in peace and security studies from Al-Hikmah University in Ilorin, Kwara State. Dr. Egbetokun has attended several prestigious training programs, including the Global Conference on Chemical Security and Emerging Threats held in Lyon, France in 2018, and has completed numerous professional courses throughout his career. His extensive experience in the Nigerian Police Force includes serving as the area commander in both Osogbo, Osun State, and Gusau, Zamfara State, and Gusau, Zamfara State. From 1999 to 2005, he was the Chief Security Officer to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu during his tenure as the Governor of Lagos State. Dr. Egbetokun has also served as the commander of the Rapid Response Squad in Lagos, squadron commander of Mopol 5 in Benin City, officer in charge of the anti-fraud unit in the FCC Command Abuja, and chief at the Lagos State Command Headquarters in Ikeja. Dr. Egbetokun is a former commissioner of police in Kwara State and previously served as the Assistant Inspector General AIG in charge of Zone 7 Headquarters Abuja. Before his most recent appointment, he led the Criminal Investigations Department of the Nigerian Police Force in Abuja. And on 19 June 2023, President Tinubu appointed Dr. Egbetokun to replace the former Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba. In addition to his professional achievements, Dr. Egbetokun is an active member of the Society for Peace and Security Practice and is recognized as a scholar in peace and security studies. In his free time, he enjoys reading, playing table tennis, and playing recreational football. In essence, that's the profile of our chief, a special guest of honor for today. But like I said earlier on, because of state matters and because of the exigency of the period we are in now, which is obvious to every Nigerian, both at home and abroad, Inspector General of Police is currently in a crucial meeting with Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but he has graciously sent in one of his lieutenants at the force headquarters in the person of Prince Olumuyiwa Adejobi, the Force Public Relations Officer, Force Headquarters Abuja, who will be representing him on this program. So you are most welcome, sir, Your Excellency.
Yeah, thank you. Good evening, Mr. Dibola. Good evening, other participants here. We're happy to be with you. And I think you can set the ball rolling. We're here for you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. I'm so glad to hear that. Once again, our main topic for today, maintaining the peace, strategies for monitoring, reporting, and preventing crime. Your Excellency, sir, I know there are questions that has been sent by viewers across the globe, which has been forwarded to you, but I wish to fire the first salvo, if you permit me, to set the ball rolling as follows. In light of the current trend regarding the planned protest by some people, I know that for security reasons, you may not be able to delve too much into the strategies to be deployed by the Nigerian Police Force in maintaining peace and tranquility in the land for obvious reasons, which I alluded to earlier. But in line with the topic of today, sir, I would like to ask for a brief overview of the strategies of the Nigerian Police Force in monitoring, reporting, and preventing crimes in the country. What are the challenges and the successes recorded so far in the fight against insecurity in the land? And after that, then we'll go into the questions that have been sent to you, sir. Thank you so very much, and you're welcome once again.
Well, thank you so much. Let me start by appreciating you for putting this together. This is very timely, of course, timely indeed. Nigeria as a country is a very blessed country, and it's very complex country in all areas. Demographically, Nigeria is very complex. Politically, Nigeria is very complex. Religiously, Nigeria is very complex. Yep. Take any variable or any parameter to analyze. Nigeria is very complex, and we must agree to that the fact that Nigeria is very, very complex. And that's why you see, to police Nigeria too, I think invariably it must be very complex. It's not a Tea Party thing. Like you have said in your intro, that population or the workforce of Nigeria police is not adequate, not sufficient to police the population we have in this country. By and large, we are not relaxing, we are not lagging back, and we are trying our best to make sure we are in tandem with current happenings globally. We adopt modern policing strategies, digital innovations to make sure we catch up with the current realities in Nigeria too. The IGP, when you roll out his dossier, you take note that he's an expert in peace and security studies. Not just an ordinary expert, he has PhD in that. And I'm sure you know for somebody to have PhD in a particular field. It is not a joke. The IGP, when he came on board on 19th June 2023, he came in with a vision statement. The broad word is to place a police institution that is professionally competent, rule of law compliant, service driven, and people friendly, and to respond adequately and promptly to dynamics of crimes and criminality in Nigeria, to boost the agenda of the government of Nigeria in area of quick economic recovery, social integration, and development of this country in general. So we believe so much in the concept of community policing that every Nigerian should not just say getting involved in policing Nigeria as a mere interest, but to be seen as a civic responsibility. As a patriot in Nigeria, supporting the police, supporting security agencies, contributing your quota to have a better security system in Nigeria should not be seen as a mere interest, but to be civic indeed. Secondly, the ability to innovate digital ideas, introduction of applications, ICT-based approaches to do policing is another thing the IGP has brought forward under his own regime. The idea of having better forensic laboratories across the country, resuscitating so many forensic ideas in Nigerian police, specialization of investigation units. Our investigation unit should not be for Tom, Dick, and Harry at the whims and caprices of senior officers that I like to face. You are looking handsome, you are looking beautiful, come and work with me. No, we want experts, those who have been trained in this area, to go to our first CID or to go to our investigation units across the ladder from the force headquarters to zonal commands to state commands and divisional headquarters across the country. The intelligence unit of the police has been upgraded by the IGP to a full-fledged department headed by a deputy inspector general of police. Before, we are just having an office like a bureau, that's just an office like a unit, but now it's a full-fledged department, well recognized and headed by a deputy commissioner of police in charge. And the commanders or the officers in charge at state levels, zonal levels now have been elevated to the rank of assistant commissioner of police. So with this, what we have intelligence department of the police, we are good enough to relate with other agencies in intelligence community in Nigeria to give adequate intelligence to the president, to the NSA, and of course to the Inspector General of Police to actualize. In the line of training, IGP has made it compulsory that at least a police officer in a year should attend nothing less than 2 courses. Before now, you have your promotions like home delivery. You may not even attend any course. I've seen a case where somebody has spent 20 years, has not even gone for any training. Afterwards, he acquired in the training school. After going through the training manuals in the training school, he was commissioned and posted out, and he has not been privileged to attend any training so far. I always say that quackery, to me, in my own definition, is not that you lack knowledge of what you do, you lack the expertise in that field. Quackery. But to me, I define quackery as the ability to acquire training in a particular field, but you have failed to upgrade yourself. I don't expect a policeman of 1976 to be in tandem with the current happenings now with digital innovations we have with modern policing strategies. So we want to kick against quackery in Nigerian police force in line with my own definition of quackery in this context. So we actually want every policeman to be updated, to be upgraded every year by having a training. And we are lucky to have a Iberian person in charge of our training department, the Deputy Inspector General of Police in training, 3-time first PRO in Nigeria, Frank Mba, highly cerebral person, was appointed to be in charge of training. That's why I've been able to do well in this regard. And we are mindful of the fact that we need to have better recruitment process in Nigeria. Recently, there were issues in the news. There were irregularities concerning the recruitment process, the recently concluded recruitment process, and people started raising issues that the police or the IGP in person was having an issue with Police Service Commission. But this is not true. The IGP for the first time, because he's highly cerebral, is committed to what he's doing, and he wants better deals for Nigeria police for this time around, was able to raise his voice and raise certain irregularities concerning the recruitment process, recently concluded recruitment process, where he pointed out certain irregularities and made it known that fine, we can't fold our arms and keep quiet to have bad eggs in the police or to continue to have bad eggs in the police. It is that time we started raising our voices to say no to certain things. And that's why we raised certain observations. And I'm happy to say that the Service Commission, the new leadership, and the IGP, and of course the force management team are working together to review that particular recruitment process. Police will be the one to bear the prompts. If you have bad eggs in the police, anything goes wrong, they call out the IGP, they call out the leadership of the police. But we know that there's no I want to have a perfect police institution in Nigeria with erroneous recruitment process. It's not going to work. So we have been able to work in so many areas. The legal framework, of course, the police are taking it as a responsibility to talk to the president and talk to the National Assembly to review some of our laws. We cannot operate with obsolete laws in Nigeria. It's not going to work. If you are, for instance, let me give you a typical example. Before now, we talk a case of rape. As always, it's so difficult for us to prove any rape case. If you are going by definition of the criminal code of Nigeria, you can see that even the definition alone is sentimental, because the rape has been defined as having an unlawful carnal knowledge of a woman. Men have not been considered in that particular provision. But if you go forward again with the provision of the Violence Against Persons Act, MAP of 2015, I think that one is a little bit better. So we actually trying to see how we can make things work better for us, our legal framework to be more effective by having modern laws and to review some of the laws we have. The Nigerian Police Act, I think, is being reviewed now by the National Assembly as we review our constitution. So we are taking note of certain things that are very crucial to have better policing structure in Nigeria. And we are lucky to have the IGP we have who has interest in doing this. By and large, we have been addressing the issue of trust deficits. It is not limited to Nigerian police alone. It's a global problem. Any police institution in Nigeria and across the globe, we have certain issues concerning trust deficits. But for us in the police, we have been using to use our population tools to make sure Nigerians get closer to us. You see that we engage Nigerian youths in all areas, at all fora we have, opportunity we have, particularly on social media, where we think we have the teeming number of Nigerian youths. Very, very active, and we are active. We are mandating all our officers to be very active on social media. Nigeria Police Force is active on social media. You don't need to wait for you to write officially to us to complain against police professional misconduct. You pick your complaints online, we attend to you, and this has helped our internal control mechanism to be more effective. Once we have a complaint, we take charge, we attend to your complaint, we respond to you, and we make sure justice is done. Our oversight functions are intensified. Our accountability process has been intensified, is improved, so that Nigerians can actually launch their complaints attended to on time, and feedback given to whoever has raised any issue concerning police misconduct, extortion, and brutality. So generally, we put certain things in place in the police to make sure Nigerian police force attains its primacy in the internal security mechanism of this country, that the police attains its status as a responsible and civil security organization that Nigerians can actually rely on and be seen as a friend indeed to all Nigerians. We can't have it perfect in a day. The Rome they said was not built in a day. To reform a system like this is a process, and we have started well. So we want to still continue to do so many things, innovate many ideas, that will make Nigeria police force more digital, effective, productive, friendly to Nigerians, so that we can actually work together. And we have a situation where we have a police force that an average Nigerian will be boast. I'm proud of to say this is the police of my dear country, my beloved country, Nigeria, the giants of Africa.
Thank you so very much, sir, for that elaborate explanation. I called for a brief overview, but you gave us an elaborate one, which again speaks to your professionalism and your passion for the work you do and for the country. Thank you so very much for that. Before we proceed, I've just been informed that the Inspector General of Police has graciously sent us a video that he would like us to watch first, and maybe to learn one or two things regarding the situation in our country. So our technical crew now will be playing that video now. Then from then we'll continue with our program. Thank you so very much. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much for that video clip. I think it's now time for us to yield the floor for the representative of our special guest to give us an overview of the import of this video or the significance of this video and what lessons, if any, to be learned by Nigerians. Thank you so very much, sir. You have the floor now, sir.
Okay. Thank you. I'm sure you have seen certain scenes and incidences recorded in that short video. I think it's 8-minute video. It was the reflection or aftermath of the 2020 NSAS. I was part of the struggle in 2020 because I was the police PRO in Lagos State in 2020, the epicenter of NSAS. And for us to have rolled out this is for us to have an overview of how terrible a violent protest or gathering or demonstration could be. We lost many officers, I think almost 30-something officers, and many stations were set ablaze, vehicles destroyed, both private vehicles of our officers, and many government property were destroyed, private companies too looted, vandalized as a result of these violent protests. The NSAS saga, I think, was in 2 or 3 phases. The first 7 days into NSAS was very peaceful. Policemen, protesters, dancing, enjoying themselves. But when anytime we have an uncoordinated protest, it is always be hijacked, and the end of such might not be too palatable for any one of us. Nigerians, like I always say, have rights to protest. The right to protest is right to peaceful protest. Fundamental human rights must be enjoyed. We always remind ourselves that no fundamental human rights is absolute. So we always need to learn. Marcus Cicero was a great American writer. He said the only thing history teaches a man is a man fails to learn from history itself. For you to be a very sharp person, a leader, you must look back to review your procedures, your processes, your strategies, and what have you for you to be able to forge ahead. There is a principle in science. Those who study geology will understand the principle of uniformitarianism. If you fail to study what happened in the past, you cannot understand your present and cannot project into your future. That is just the story. So we should be able to look back and see where are we coming from, where are we now, and where are we actually going to. So in Nigeria now, we need to just remind ourselves of the problem we had in the past. I was laughing when some people were actually saying, let us do the way they did in Kenya. Kenya never had this kind of experience of violent protest like Nigeria did. The SAT protest was there. Ali must go for students was there. Many crises in the past. And even the NSAS alone was enough for Nigeria to say, yes, I had a terrible experience of any violent protest in my life. So if people are saying that we should actually refer to what happened in Kenya, or we take a clue from what happened in Kenya, they are not the same thing. Nigeria and Kenya are not the same entities. Because considering Nigeria, when I started my intro, I told you Nigeria is very complex in all areas. Demographically, Nigeria is complex. Geographically, Nigeria is complex. So it's quite unfortunate that certain individuals who incidentally or fortunately, some of them are fugitives who don't even reside in Nigeria. They don't stay in Nigeria and they are calling for problems. From all indications, apart from intelligence gathering we have gathered, and from intelligence community, the NIA, DSS, and our police, force intelligence departments, that there's likelihood of violence from these planned protests come August 1 or to run for 10 days. The body languages of certain individuals who have been canvassing for these protests are very worrisome because where you are telling people that you are coming out to your hangar and the hangar is for 10 days, the hangar is for social period, or some will say until mommy calls. So it means we don't even know the specific period for this protest. We don't know the leaders who are actually ready to say I am the leader in charge of this group. For now, we are having more than 500 plus groups. How do we have a protest of this kind to occur simultaneously in 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory? Who is the leader to coordinate? When we got to a stage during NSAS problem in 2020, even those great men who actually organized NSAS with their hope plan to better for the betterment of the police and to have good governance in Nigeria, they withdrew their interest in NSAS when it got to a stage because they could no longer control some of the followers. So if at all you want to have a protest, the message from the LGP has always been that come, we cannot afford to experience what you experienced during NSAS. We must have coordinated protests if at all we want to protest. Well, come and tell us who are the leaders, who are the people we need to talk to. We cannot have faceless leaders and we say people will just be in the streets and do what they like. No, a responsible government will not allow such. And that's why the police force is saying we'll be having a series of engagements with stakeholders, with those that we think they may be interested in this protest. And to surprise us, many of them are pulling out because they said no, they cannot even understand what is happening again. Many have written to us, they are pulling out and they don't want to be part of any protest again. So we actually want to talk to those who are planning to come forward. The very few, like 1 or 2, 3 people we know, we want to engage them to talk to them because one of them was actually telling me today, you see that person was not clear-headed enough. He does not even understand what the protest stands for. Perhaps he just registered an NGO and is looking for cheap popularity. To come out to organize people and you don't even want to coordinate. You don't even have points. What are your demands? A question was thrown to him, have you ever engaged the government at all? You don't go to the street. Going to the street, protest or demonstration should be the last resort. You have not consulted anybody. After consultation, there is no consolidation. After consultation, I think when we fail, when all this was failed, you can be talking or protest, confrontation, or demonstration. So we have been trying to engage them to understand that Nigeria for now is too volatile for anybody to be in the street. And something to be done simultaneously in 37, 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, that is not so organized, not so coordinated, is so worrisome to all of us and is a great concern. And that's why the police and other agencies have come out to say we need to work with them. We need to explain to Nigerians. We need to explain to key stakeholders, our followers, our head of statesmen, our prominent Nigerians to understand why we are actually trying to manage the situation. In as much as we know that we don't have the power to give you any permit to do any protest. You are free to do the protest, but the police still has the responsibility to manage whatever you want to do so that we will not have another problem like what we have. So to give reference to this particular video we have seen is to remind ourselves of what happened in the past. I'm sure Lagos State government has another documentary from Lagos they did to see what these individuals destroyed during NSAS in 2020 in Lagos State. If you ask questions from other states, they have stories to tell. I know owners of certain outlets, shopping outlets in Lagos, up till now, they are still struggling to balance from the aftermath of NSAS. So many love stories to tell about NSAS, many love stories to tell about previous experiences, ugly experiences when it comes to violence, protests or demonstrations in Nigeria. So we want to appeal to our people, and we are still using this platform to appeal to them that fine, we want to come out. If at all we want to come out to demonstrate, can we have a coordinated protest that has leaders, recognized individuals that can actually be the leaders of this train? You want to have procession, you want to have rally, you want to have demonstration. Who are the leaders of these protesters? We cannot be relating with ghosts. We cannot be relating with faceless people. And to say another thing is that a lawyer came out yesterday, I think legal learned sick. My brother Ebun Adeguru Hassan said he's the lawyer for them. I see what we have not received. I don't think we have received the letter, but he said he has written to us. He saw it in the news. We still want to call on him to please engage us, engage the IG. Let us know whether he's a lawyer to hold the protesters that will be carrying out protests in the 36 states simultaneously across the country, or you only want to speak as time for those that will do their protests in Lagos, where he resides, or the Federal Capital Territory. Let us know the people my learned sake is trying to stand for, so that we can get it right. So we are peaceful police will come out. We'll be having a series of meetings with strategic commanders. Today we just had a meeting with Commander PMF, CTU, and all our tactical commanders, at least to check them through the standard operating procedure, the ethics of the job, and professional conduct. We don't want to lose anybody. We don't want to lose any property in Nigeria this time around. It's very, very crucial. So we have been trying to engage our men because we know that the Nigeria police force will take the lead in managing any protest or any demonstration whatsoever in Nigeria. So we are out already. We are doing our trainings. We prepare for this. But I hope those who are trying to stage this protest will understand this, and they are going to be on the same page with us at this crucial time we find ourselves in Nigeria. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir, for that elaborate narratives on that video. I think you've just broken everything down into pieces, and I hope our people get the message loud and clear. But just for the sake of those who probably might have missed the video at the first time we played it, we would like to replay the video again, so that for those who are hearing you talking and did not perhaps maybe see all of the video, we'll play it again now for them to be able to know exactly what it is you were talking about. Because what we are facing in this country now is a very serious matter that nobody with their right senses should take lightly. So for that reason, we will be playing this video again for effect, so that everybody watching, every Nigerian watching from all walks of life, when they see that video and they heard what you just said now, at least everything you said will make meaning to even those who are for or against the government. So please, can we have the video played again, please? So let's all pay attention once again. Thank you so very much. you so very much for playing that video. And first of all, I have to apologize to everyone for some of the gory pictures that we saw there. We decided to leave it there because it fits into the context of what we are discussing today, especially given the prevalent tension in the country, and for the simple fact that we need to drive the point home to so many undiscerned minds who seem to be joining the bandwagon of a protest that many don't even know the reasons or why they are forming it, and we don't even know who the real backers of this are. So we just need to let everyone know that because, like the special guest said earlier on, you need to assess your past for you to be able to assess the future. Because if you don't know where you're coming from, then you definitely will not know where you are going. If we had all of that in the past, now who is to say for sure that this planned protest, which as far as we know lacks decorum, lacks leadership, just like the NSAS that we experienced. The reason why it was like that was because it lacks leadership. And I remember Pastor, one of these Pentecostal pastors, I've forgotten his, Bakari, said it publicly that he spoke to the NSAS organizers at the time and advised them to come up with some leadership to meet with the government, but they refused to yield to that advice. And that was why the NSAS protest was hijacked by some hoodlums, and the result of that was what we've just seen in this video now. So we needed to bring it up home now for those who understand minds who seem to be joining the bandwagon without understanding what the protest is all about, for them to understand that this protest is nothing other than the plan by certain unscrupulous elements to cause chaos in the country. And we will not stand by and allow those people, and most of them don't even live in Nigeria. Many of them live abroad. They have their families tucked over there, safe in a safe haven, but they are telling our own understand hapless kids here, hapless youths here, to go on the street and risk their lives for their nefarious ambition. So this is the reason why we decided to play this video again, so I can drive up the point that we've been making and we're about to make in the next one or 2 hours. So please, I hope it makes sense to everyone that has watched it now. So, like I said again, apologies for some of the pictures. It has to be, we had to do that so that we'll be able to drive home the point that this protest, apart from the fact that everybody has the right, the constitution of the country, I think it's section 40, allows a freedom of association, a freedom of assembly. But then, like I've said in the last conference that we had last week, that whatever protest that you're going to do must be done within the ambit of the law. But then again, given the situation in the country, the tension, who is to say that this protest, no matter how altruistic the notion of the perpetrators are, who is to say that it will not turn violent, given our experience in recent past? Let's not even talk about the animals go. That was in the 70s. Many of the youths who are agitating for this today were not even alive there. I'm privileged to be alive and the animals go saga in the 1970s. But many of these kids of today were not there, but they were alive. Many of them were alive when the NSAS happened. So that is why we needed to bring the disastrous aftermath of the NSAS now, to bring it to bear to us, so that those hapless youths who are joining this bandwagon without proper understanding what the notions of those who are agitating for this are, for them to be able to have a rethink. And I hope it drives home that point to them. And between now and the end of the month, I hope they will have a rethink, because it is not worth it for you to risk your life for people who have their families stuck over in America and in the UK, but are telling you in Nigeria to go on the street and risk your own life for them, while their own kids are schooling in America and in the UK, and they're in a safe haven. Nothing will touch them, but you will be risking your life. So that's the reason why we needed to play that video. So thank you so very much for your patience. and for being with us again, like you always do every week. So we'll have to move on now. We have a couple of questions that were sent in by participants across the globe. I have 6 of those questions with me, which we have sent to our special guest of honor. But I will just briefly go through them now. I will break them. I'll break the 6 questions into 2. I will ask 3 questions apiece, and I'll use the floor to our special guest of honor to respond to them. Then after that, we'll go into the second session, which is the general question and answers, where my co-host will field those questions from participants. So, Your Excellency, sir, I have the first 3 questions here for you, sir, to respond to. The first question was sent in by Chris I. Onumonu, Managing Director of CIO Security Limited, and he says, on job and synergizing with Nigeria Police Authority. He says, good evening, IG. Many thanks for giving us your time and joining us at the global conference. I am Chris I.K. Onumonu. I have a security company here in the UK for over 20 years, and hundreds of Nigerians work for my company. We specialize in many types of securities and work for different reputable companies and government parastatals. I would like to know how those of us in the security industry would like to partner with Nigeria Police, how they can go about it, or the department they can contact to see if we can synergize with Nigeria Police. This will help us to bring the knowledge, both empirical and theoretical knowledge, to our dear country. Thanks. That's the first question. The second question was sent in by Ms. Hawa Ibrahim from Nigeria. She says, dear sir, I have a question for you. What is the police doing to ensure the anti-government plant protest did not descend to Kenya's situation? That is from Ms. Hawa Ibrahim from Nigeria. And the third question, and last for this segment, says, sir, it is from Mr. Banji Oluwole from the UK. And it says, sir, it appears the police are only ready in Lagos and Abuja. Does that mean that the police will leave the other states out of the planning concerning the protest? So that's from Mr. Banji Oluwole from the UK. So those 3 questions are for you now. So you have the floor now, sir, to respond to those. Then I will go to the next 3 questions, sir. Thank you so very much, sir.
Okay, thank you, JK. Let me appreciate Chief IK, the chairman, CIO Security Limited, for his intention to work with the police. I think the organizers, they have some of our, how would I call it, links, so that they can share with your contacts, so that we can follow up from there. Thank you so much. The second one is Ms. Hawa from Hawa Ibrahim. All our state commands are very ready, not only Lagos. You see, they've been having series of engagements with interest groups and stakeholders. It might not be in the news. Not all the time our engagements are always in the news, but when it's time for some of the engagements to be in the news, they are going to be in the know. All our commands are ready. The IGP had a meeting with them on Tuesday, all the commissioners of police, and we had a press briefing yesterday. We had another meeting with commander for mobile, Mopo commander, CTU commander, all our commanders, the khaki men, operational men. Today, we just left the conference hall this afternoon before the IGP went for another meeting. So we are all ready. It is not that it's only Lagos that is ready for any eventuality. We are all ready. And all our commands are on red alert. We have sent signals out to all of them to prepare for this. We don't want to believe that certain individuals who want to come out to foment trouble will still come out. But whatever it is, we are going to undo whatever situation professionally. We will handle every situation professionally and in line with the provisions of our extant law in this country. That's number 3 from Mr. Banji Oluwoye. Please, can you recap that question again, please, from Mr. Banji Oluwole?
Okay, sir.
Let's see, have the question.
Yeah, Mr. Banji Oluwole from the UK says, sir, it appears the police are only ready in Lagos and Abuja. Does that mean that the police will leave the other states out of the planning concerning the protest?
Okay. I think I've answered that. I misplaced the name. Now is a question of Ms. Hawa Ibrahim. She was actually asking us that what are we putting in place to make sure that the anti-government plans do not generate anarchy. So like I said, we have done what we should. We have lectured our men. We told commanders to talk to their happy trigger officers in case of any provocation. IGP told our men to still be calm. We don't expect to attack anybody. We don't expect any policeman to attack any individual. But the message is that those who want to come out should have a rethink, because many of them don't have any demands per se. You know, even the SARS saga in 2020, the organizers had, I think, five or seven demands. They came out with some demands, and they even engaged the government at least to a stage. But this time around, no engagement with the federal government at all. And we should not even centralize this issue in Nigeria. Like somebody said this morning, that have we actually engaged our local government chairman? Have we engaged our governors? We are doing as if it's only federal government that runs affairs of this country. It is not so. Despite the fact that the federal government has been put certain things on ground to ameliorate our sufferings in Nigeria, we have not engaged our governors in various states. Everybody is interested in attacking what the government at the center is doing. Everybody is interested in attacking the federal government of Nigeria. Up to this moment, I don't think any of the organizers, any interest group, has engaged the federal government in any roundtable discussion so far. All they want is, we are going to hit the street. We are going to hit the street. We are going to hit the street. As if they will have full control of their procession, of their demonstration, of their protest. It is not possible. So a leader who is leading a train of more than 300, 500 Nigerians would definitely lose the grip of such a train, of such procession. If proper care is not taken. And that is one of the reasons we are trying to engage them, to educate, to enlighten them that they should actually go for consultation first before they hit the street. So, we are trying our best possible to see that this problem will not degenerate to any anarchy in Nigeria. We cannot afford at this moment to have any anarchy in this country again. No, we cannot afford to do that, and it will not happen. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir, for that assurance. The Nigerian police will never allow whatever happens to degenerate into chaos or into anarchy, because I think that has been the fear of many people in this country, or many law-abiding citizens of this country, given what happened in recent past. So that assurance, I think, will go a long way in reassuring everybody that the law enforcement agencies are on top of the game, and so everybody should rest easy. So let me just run through the last three questions here before I throw it to the floor. Question number 4 is from Mr. Ayo Inyanda from the USA. It says, my question is not about the planned protest. Despite promises to sanitize policing in Nigeria, some of your men still engage in collection of money on motorists across Nigeria. When will there be an end to this? That's from Mr. Ayo Inyanda from the USA. And the 5th question is from Mr. Chris Onuoma. There are issues with Nigeria police. Some of these issues are reoccurring ones. Sir, you have breathed life. You have breathed life into the force. I want to commend you for a great job. I wish you greater height. Meanwhile, I want to ask you a question. What are you doing about the killings of your men, especially in the southeast of Nigeria? And that's the question from Mr. Chris Onuoma. And number 6 says, sir, that is from Mr. Okon from the UK. Mr. Sunday Okon from the UK says, sir, can you say that the crime rate in Nigeria has reduced since you are sent you are sent to the position of IG? The 3 last questions that I'll be asking you, sir, from the public. You have the floor now, sir.
Okay. Thank you so much. Let me start in your down. Well, we have been trying our best possible to sanitize the Nigerian police force. Like I said, if one of the problems we can actually say that has contributed to this issue of extortion, gross professional misconduct will be erroneous recruitment processes in the past. And that's why the IGP raised his voice recently that no, we can't continue to bear the brunt in the police. Let us speak out so that we can collectively have good hands in the police. Let me say clearly that if you give us bad elements in the police, we train them for 6 months, we are going to send them back to you. 6 months is not enough to train those elements that we say we have condemned in our various homes. And we think police force is the dumping ground to send them for training or to go and look for job. Police job should not be seen as a job to compensate constituents, to compensate friends, to compensate well-wishers. We want the best brains in the society to come into the police and other security agency. So we need to actually move away from that mentality of, I want a job for my friend. Please put him in the police. It's not going to work. You can't continue to have this kind of people in the police, and we want the best from the police. So we want people to support the police, support the IG, support leadership of the police this time around to have the best brains in our society in the Nigerian police force is going to help us. We have intensified efforts to make sure we heighten the spirits of our officers in the internal control mechanism of the police. The IGP has called recently, the IGP has appointed assistant commissioners of police to be in charge of escort in all the states. This escort is a unit that I call monitor the monitors. So they go after erring police officers, they monitor erring police officers, and they checkmate their excesses. Then the public complaint bureau is there. I superintend over PCB, public complaint bureau, is under me across the country. We always listen to complaints, we attend to complaints, we do what we should. Do you know that I want to say it without being immodest that police still remain that agency that will expose his children, punish his children, and still make it to be in the news? I want to challenge any agency of government that can say he does that more than the police. It is not easy for you to expose your boy, your son, your daughter, bring him out in the public, strip him naked, flog him, dismiss, and punish him. We do this in the police. It is not even easy to do this in the police just because we want to sanitize this system. So extortion is a great problem, and I always say it takes two to tango. I've told Nigerians to resist being extorted by some of the men on the road. It is not our tradition. It is unethical for policemen to be on the road on uniform, Nigerian government uniform, and be extorting Nigerians. It is not okay for us. It's not professionally okay. It is not acceptable to us. So we want all Nigerians to always get across to us. All our numbers are publicized. I publicize my number. That if you Google my name and ask for my number, I'm sure Google will supply my information to you. It's a sacrifice I want to make Nigerians get closer to me. You can imagine it's not easy. Since I did that, it has changed my sleeping pattern. I don't sleep regularly like a normal human being. Everybody wants to talk to me. Everybody asks me issues. The things that did not even pertain to policing at all. But I have to respond because I'm a human being. I've been seen as a figure in Nigeria. I am somebody in Nigeria. People are seeing me as their messiah. When they have issues, they come to me. Matrimonial causes, I attend. Chieftaincy matter, I attend. Social issues, they still come to me. No problem. I am ready because I was ready to do that. That's why I was able to publish my number. The IGP published his number. Many senior officers publish their number. All my command PROs publish their numbers. We're active online, we're active on social media. It's for us to be accessible to Nigerians. So I think we can leverage on this. Let us stop dignifying their corrupt practices. When you give them money today, you give them tomorrow, they take you for granted. Every human being is a complete human being. You are a complete Homo sapiens sapien who has a very high cranial capacity, who can think as a mature person to say yes to some things and say no to some things. So don't let us continue to dignify the corrupt practices of certain policemen who want to enrich their pocket. This money we give to them is not for us. We don't generate revenue in the police. So we want to appeal to Nigerians to please stop dignifying the bad habits, bad attitude, and professional misconduct of some of our men on the road. Stop giving them money, even the bail money. I come out to condemn it. But I've noticed that some agents, I don't want to know whether they are lawyers, whether they are individuals, but we call them charge and bail agents. They always rely on the police. They collect money from suspects. They don't even declare what they collect. So this is a problem that we face that we need to be on the same page to address. So I'm saying it now openly that when you get to police stations, it is strategic that DPO's office is always close to the charge room office, the one we call the counter. So when somebody is trying to extort you, you can easily walk to the DPO's office or see any officer around you before you pay. Many Nigerians will pay before they raise any alarm. So it is what we need to collectively tackle the issue of corruption in some quarters in the police. We don't support it. Brutality has gone down to an extent because they know that when they flog Nigerians, I've told them, our men on the road, who gave you that horse whip you are using to flog a Nigerian? You don't flog your fellow Nigerian. As a decent police officer, on earth, will you raise your hand and slap your fellow? It's not public, it's not normal. So we have been working on this, we have been lecturing them, and I think many of them are trying to turn a new leaf and to do better in this area. So my appeal still goes to Nigerians. Don't let us dignify their corrupt practices and professional misconduct. It's not going to help us. Then to Mr. Chris Onohoma, sorry if I bastardize the name, you have commended us, but with the killing of our men in the Southeast, Southeast issue is another issue entirely. The issue has been somehow political, that certain individuals in the southeastern part of Nigeria are not happy with the government, secessionist agenda. They want a republic within a republic. They're actually fighting the federal government, not the police per se. But the police is the first son of the federal government when it comes to issues like this. So the attack will be on the police first before any other person. We lose our men on a daily basis in the southeast. It is painful. We are not after them, but they are after us. But this is the job we have signed for, and we still need to manage and tolerate one another in this country. So I can only appeal to our people in the southeast to adopt non-kinetic method to resolve this problem. They kill the police, they kill our soldiers, members of the armed forces. Those that are not even harmed, they kill them. I've seen cases where they killed Federal Road Safety Corps official who is not even harmed at all. It's not a threat to them at all. We agree that policemen could be a threat to them, but they should just please stop killing us. Stop attacking our facilities. We are there to protect them. Then another thing in the southeast is I have seen where a person, an indigenous in the southeast, an Igbo man, killing his colleague, his brother, slaughtering his brother. And that brother was telling you in Igbo language that please, Biko, don't kill me. Hearing that language alone should have changed your mentality at that point in time. Killing ourselves as animals is alien to us. It's not part of us in Nigeria. It's not part of us in Africa. The concept of Africanism must be in us, must be in our brain at all times. The esprit corps is a concept of Africanism. It's not for the men on uniform alone. So that particular concept of esprit corps is brotherhood and togetherness. And that's why you see one of the lyrics of the new national anthem that's talking of brotherhood and talking of motherhood. We want to protect the sovereignty of this country. We must respect our brotherhood. We must respect our motherhood. Africa, particularly Nigeria, that I want to believe is the cradle of the black race. According to the histories, the anthropological analysis, archaeological analysis of the existence of human beings in Africa that is being traced to Nigeria, the North culture and the likes, and so many things. We are to be seen as leaders in all areas. The way we kill ourselves doesn't make any sense. Doesn't speak well of us. Not only the police. They kill the police, they kill soldiers, they kill indigenous that are not even harmed or harmful to them in any way. I can appeal to them. Let us shit our sweats, embrace one another, we can get it better in this country. To Mr. Oko Sunday from UK, crime rate has gone down. We cannot assess crime rates based on what we see on social media, based on certain reports we read. You need to analyze security situation, crime rate based on empirical figures. When the IGP addressed the media, the media on Tuesday, where he addressed strategic managers, CPs and above, and he rolled out statistics where he was able to compare. I can't lay my hand on it now, but the IGP, I can share it with the secretariat as we have this program on. You'll see the analysis, comparative analysis of the crime rate in June. That is May to June, and to what we have in June to this moment in July. It has gone down. And like I said, it has gone down. We have been able to give serious fights to some of these non-state actors and unscrupulous elements who have criminal minds to terrorize, harass us in this country. The crime rate in Nigeria has gone down. I can say that. I'm going to share the statistics with you. It's not just me as saying. We have gone scientific about analyzing security situation in this country, not just lip service, not just to exaggerate and not to impress anybody. But all of us at this point in time are more committed to making sure that we have a good Nigerian system, a more secure environment, and for better governance for all of us in this country. I think with all this, I've attended more of these questions to the best of my capability, and I think I've answered the concerns of these questionnaires accordingly. Thank you.
Thank you so very much, sir, for that elaborate response to those questions. I think of those who ask those questions must be satisfied now by the responses that they received for those questions. Now we are moving swiftly to the second segment of this conference, where we use the floor to participants to ask questions. So I will be using the floor to one of my co-hosts to ask 3 participants to fill their questions. Then we will use the floor to you, sir, to respond. So let me call on Haji Rekia Bello Abubakar to take on 3 participants for them to ask their questions. It's like we said, you have just 1 minute to ask your question, and we'll go on to the next person. So can we please unmute Hadia Rekia Bello Abubakar, please?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Our of the IGP, you're welcome to the program again.
Thank you. Good evening.
You're welcome, sir. I've got about 6 hands I can see have raised up their hands for questioning. And I bet you're ready for them. The first one I have is Dr. M.O. And then the next person is Mr. Michael Williams. So Dr. M.O., you have the floor now, while Mr. Michael Williams should be on standby. Thank you.
ACP Adejobi, thank you. Thank you so much for all the things you're doing and all your explanations and what the police force is doing. My name is Dr. Mo. I'm from United States, okay? And I happen to be from Imo State. So I'm so happy for all the things you guys are doing. But there are a few things I want to ask very quick, okay? Number 1, about crime prevention, pre-information. Are you all monitoring the conversations with people like telephone call and social media where they're exchanging all this information and planning for it to execute? That's number 1. And number 2, about sabotage, because so many people are against President Tinubu from making progress. I can tell you that from all the news and all the things I read. How can you all prevent sabotage? Okay, and number 3 or number 4, whatever. I need to know that police WhatsApp where somebody can feed information to you guys. On the Southeast, I believe that monitoring their phone and also monitoring their WhatsApp, because all these things take time to happen. That will help the Southeast. I happen to be from there, and I know how much it's costing us, because we see some little criminals being bold, posting something on the WhatsApp, having all kinds of voicemail, sending things up. So if the police can have, before we used to have CID when I was growing up, where they can penetrate people, even before that. So it's a pre-information. Before they even commit that crime, you already grab them. So it will minimize all these things. So these are, few things I'm trying to, because I believe in solution. I don't believe in complaint, because people that complain a lot, they don't have solution. Okay. So please, how can we make sure that all these things are happening to, not only to Imo State, to all over Nigeria, where you can preempt their attempt, and that will reduce the work of the police and make things very, very easy for everybody and reduce the tension. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Mo. I'm sure our ACP is standing by to give you all the answers.
Do you want us to take all the questions at once, or we respond one by one? How do you want us to do it, Ajia?
Whichever one is easier for you, sir.
You are moderating. You are moderating at your service. Just tell me how you want me to do it.
The floor to 2 more people so that we can have 3 more people, 3 in total.
Question at once. Okay. That's fine. No problem.
All right. Mr. Michael Williams, are you there? Are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Okay. Thank you.
All right.
You now. Go
I'm
ahead,
Michael
please.
Williams. I'm Michael Williams from Cheltenham, Gloucestershire, UK. My concern, actually, many questions I intend to ask has been asked and been answered as well. But my contribution is Lagos State and Abuja is the main focus in my investigation. And before people can demonstrate, especially in the advanced world, they need to get police permission. However, there should be thorough investigation and thorough warning. As their officer have said, they don't have a particular people that they can hold responsible or that can come forward that they are in charge of their demonstration. In that case, I don't think the police should allow the demonstration, because Nigeria seems not to be ripe enough for democracy, or that we don't know what demonstration is or whatever. If the police don't allow it, I don't think it's a crime. That's not against democracy. It's part of democracy to protect the nation, protect the people, and to protect the property. I don't want to say much, but I think the officer will understand what I really mean, because I believe so much in preemptive strike. If somebody pointed a gun at you and you have a gun, if they, oh, I'm going to shoot you, and they put the gun up, as an officer, you are allowed to shoot first. It's preemptive strike. You're protecting yourself. People protect themselves, the law defend you. That's the way I see things. So what's the scenario? What would be the police determination on this issue? Are they going to allow the protest, or are they not going to allow the protest? Because from my perspective, I don't think they should allow the protest unless they have people that can come forward, that we are the organizer and we are responsible. And according to the lawyer, they said, one lawyer said, oh, it's their lawyer. I said, lawyer of who? Is it lawyer of the Nigerians? 36 states, including the Federal Capital Territory? No, that's not tenable. The police should say no, there should be no protest. And when they say no, there is no protest, and if they go ahead of it, anything that happened, there should be no question about it. The police have to defend the nation. If they cannot, if they don't have enough facilities, they should call the help of the military.
I think your time is up, Mr. Williams. That's why you're cut off. It's technology, as you know. My next participant is Mr. Van Gabriel Shodende. You have the floor now, sir. And then next, who should be on standby is Mr. Adewale Ajayi. Mr. Shodende.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Well,
My name is Venerable Gabriel Shodende. Thanks, Akipol Olumoyiwa. Thank you so much for what you what you have been doing. It's been followed, and you've been engaging just like you have said. What I want, the area I want to raise is, I know it may not really be the police affair alone. Probably it may be more of diplomatic issue. Why do we have people who are in the diaspora and they are spreading mayhem? I mean, encouraging mayhem in the country. What is the role of the Interpol in getting this type of people and bringing them to book? I know, again, it may depend whether we have some relationship with the country where they reside, where we can ask for them to be repatriated for one thing or the other. But then I think there should be some diplomatic relationship to call this type of people to order, because they cause a lot of damage. They are far away, and yet they are calling for mayhem in the country when their families are well secured elsewhere. And that is one. And also the other one is that, again, as the police, I think the police should do more in terms of managing their image with the populace. So that, because the populace, the way they people are just, we know the Nigerians have passed through a lot of things that they just don't believe anything that is thrown at them nowadays, that they don't believe any system, anything from the establishment will work. So the police will now need to find a way of getting across more, so that people will believe and begin to be at peace with the police. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shodende. I will now yield the floor for Mr. Adewale Ajayi. You have the floor now. And
thank you. You call me Mr. Yeah, I'm not Mr. I'm honorable. Somebody that has served the government.
Oh, honorable. I beg your pardon.
Please, I'm not Mr. Okay, thank you.
You're not okay. Honorable Ajayi.
God bless you. Mr. First PRO, please. I know you can hear me. Please, I will not say IGP. Can you tell Baba Victor? I call him Baba Victor. He will know. Tell him I say thank you very much. He has done very well. Tell the PSO, Principal Staff Officer Adenola, that they are doing very well. I want to thank you too. The only thing I want to say, Nigeria love when you communicate, and communication is up and down. And I could see you've been to TVC, you've been to Arise, you are not shy from publicity. Right from Lagos State, you've been a shining star. And I'm going to implore the leadership of this organization, of this program, very soon one day, and my leader, Adeomole, to try and plan. We need to give you an award for an exceptional behavior for being a top officer. Okay? So what I want to say, please, let us interact with Nigerians. Let's communicate. We are not scared of the protests. Let's say protest. Let's give security and everything. But more importantly, please, let us see police interact more. In the UK, when the police stopped me the other day, I was driving, and my headlight was off in the middle of the night. The officer stopped me and said, "Oh, do you know why we stopped you, sir?" That's the way he spoke to me. I said, "No." And he said, "Oh, we stopped you because your light was on." And they corrected me. And I went. And you could see the way RRS, the way they perform, they help people who have problem with their car, to help them to pump their puncture tire, to help them buy petrol. Let the police be like that. And that is all I want to say. And more importantly, in conclusion, to say you are doing a wonderful job. And tell Baba Victor to God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Ajayi. I will now yield the floor to our special guest, ACP Adejobi, to please respond to the questions. Thank you. Our special guest, sir. Do we have a technical problem? We seem to have a technical problem. I can't hear anyone here.
Most likely there's a technical hitch, but I think our technical department will look into that. Then in the meantime, whilst they were doing that, let's yield the floor again to Honorable Tosin to field the other 3 questions. So whilst I'm sure by the time we finish with the 3 questions, the technical hitch would have been sorted. So Honorable Tosin, you have the floor now, sir.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Good afternoon, or probably good morning, depending on the part of the world you're joining from. Thank you so much, our chief host, Barrister J.K. Adebola. And also want to thank our distinguished guest, the ACP, Mr. Olumuyiwa Adejobi. Thank you for yielding the call and also helping with all the questions that our guests have for you. I would like to call upon 3 people, and I believe you'll be able to ask your questions. And bear in mind that in case in the course of your speaking, if the system cuts you off, it could be that you have exceeded your time limit. So please, let's keep to the time frame. All right. So the first person on my list here, I'll be calling Mr. Charles to bring forward these questions. And also, I would like Mr. Ben to also get ready. And afterward, Mr. Oluseyi Ainde to get ready. All right, so Mr. Charles, over to you.
Maybe the alpha, but I'm the true sigma. When the nice guy gets angry, you better run.
All right. Is Mr. Charles ready? Can somebody please help or meet him if he's ready? If he's not available, I will move to the next person, which is Mr. Ben. Mr. Ben, are you there, please?
Hello, hi, this is Mr. Ben. Good evening.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Thank
Hi,
you.
Tosin. How you doing?
Now. Very well, thank you.
Good evening. I have a question for the Nigerian Police PRO. My name is Ben Samuel. I am the Chief Executive of Never Looter, a UK-based blog. I'm also the owner of Niger 24 News, a diaspora-based blog based in the UK here. I have a question for Nigerian Police PRO, please, Mr. Muyiwa. Mr. Muyiwa, thank you so much for your time and thank you for your service. Thank you for doing the work you are doing. My question is quite simple, sir. There's this particular case that is very concerning. It's case of Afiba, Celine, 2 young ladies that went missing in Aba. So I'm today asking, kindly requesting an update on the investigation concerning Celine, a Nigerian citizen, and her friend Afiba, a Ghanaian citizen. This case has actually generated considerable public attention, also involved the death of the prime suspect, a British citizen, Andrew Ochekwo. As highlighted in the lot of summary that you have seen so far, I've also DM'd you some of the report and I've tried to contact you directly. Later, are you there? Please, somebody else interrupt me. I call my time. I call my time.
Yeah, don't worry. The technical
call my
department is
time.
working on that. They're gonna log out the nuisance. In a meeting like this, we do have some hackers who may just want to come in and disrupt. But we have the technical department on standby to log them off immediately. So you can continue. Over to you.
Thank you. I call my time, so I will continue to start again. So
Yes,
I
please.
am kindly requesting Nigerian Police PRO, who I believe has been an outstanding officer of Nigerian state on investigation, on the update on the investigation concerning the disappearance of Celine, a Nigerian citizen, and Afiba, a Ghanaian citizen. The case which have actually generated a lot of attention internationally, especially among the diasporan public. Also, the death of a British citizen that's connected to Nigeria, Andrew Ochekwo, in the hand of Nigerian police while being transported in a complete questionable way. So I wouldn't like to go into that. As highlighted, the summary of the report is out there, and I believe that Mr. Muiwa have access to it. About 4 weeks ago, Mr. Muiwa informed the nation that the IG of police have I was muted. Tosin, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Carry on.
So about 5 weeks ago, Mr. Muiwa informed the nation that the IG of police and his office have announced inquiry, and Nigerians should hear a report from them or update from them in 2 weeks. It's over 5 weeks now. We haven't had anything. So these are my questions. The initial delay by a witness, Blessing Onyinye, reporting the SOS message need to be investigated. The suspicious conduct and the decision made by the enforcement officer who took Andrew from Aba or from Umuahia to Abuja, that spent 5 days on the road, and then finally that lead to the subsequent death of the person. We want to know the update. Given the gravity of this consigning, an update on this current status of the investigation need to be updated. The public need to know what is going on. This is quite consigning for a lot of us that live overseas. I'm a blogger. I don't like to be dragging my country, and I like people to be updated about this case. So Nigerian Police PRO, please kindly update Nigerians. What do we expect to know? The family of these people that are missing are looking for update, and currently they are asking me for update instead of asking you, the Nigerian Police PRO, direct update. They are completely in the dark. The family of Celine in Nigeria and the family of Afiba are in the dark. They have no update on this case, and they get their update from the social media, which I believe is completely against what we're supposed to be expecting of a high standard of Nigerian police that you upheld, sir. Thank you so much, Mr. Muiwa. That is my question. Nigerians are seeking update on this case and the investigation on what has happened to the police officers that transported this guy and finally killing him along the way. It is very important we know this, because this is an international case that involves 3 countries, a British, a Ghanaian, and a Nigerian. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Ben. We believe our special guest will attend to your question shortly. I would like to call Mr. Oluseyi Ayinde, and at the same time, I would like Mitchell Akintoye to get ready shortly afterwards. Mr. Oluseyi, you have the floor now. Can somebody please help me unmute him, please? Mr. Oluseyi.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Mrs. Oluseyi Ayinde.
Oh, Mrs. I'm so sorry. Pardon me.
That's okay. Thank you.
Right. Yeah.
I'm calling from the UK. I just have a few questions. I've listened to everybody's, arrangements for the police departments in Nigeria. But my worry is, does the police actually have any coping mechanisms for people that don't have digital technology, those that are not fortunate enough to have digital technology? And are there resources in place to be able to locate the people that complain on social media so that you can find their location? And also, are there any body cameras available for the police, you know, who are facing abuse as well as being tortured and harmed, as well as the public as well, to protect both the police and the public? And are there measures in place to detect any fake social media pages that are posed as the Nigerian police forces on social media? I'm currently a political figure in the UK. I'm under the umbrella of the Conservative Party. I'm also on social media. So I'm quite interested in how you're coping with social media reports and any measures you're taking to sort of knock off any fake social medias pages. My page currently runs as Miss O Ayinde. And yeah, I think those are all of my questions. Thank you, sir.
All right. Thank you, Mrs. Oluseyi, for that question. I believe all will be taken at the same time. Also, I would like to invite Mitchell Akintoye. And I think I want to accommodate one more person before I hand over. I would like Mr. Wole Durodolu to get ready. So, Mitchell Akintoye, over to you. Can somebody please help unmute Mitchell Akintoye?
Thank you very much. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for the organizer and the specials and the speaker. I'm really grateful for this opportunity to speak to the Nigerian police through you guys, through you professionals. So my question straight away is to ask about why is the police not equipped to arrest land grabbers? On issue of land grabber is very popular in Lagos, around Lekki, Victoria Island, and where you have family member being harassed by another family member that have gone to sell land because they are broke, and they will take over land and all the other business. And it's a very serious crime in Lagos at the moment. And I think police are there to restore life and properties. And I think they should be equipped and encouraged to challenge those kind of criminals. That's number one. Number two, my question is about, I do actually want to commend the officer and the rest of his officers as well for doing a credible job in Lagos. Lagos is safer than before. And I can tell you now, the Bera, Lekki, Aja, and all the other officers, there's really Bera Estate. They are doing a fantastic job. Please do comment on them when you see them. Then on saying that, the other issue now is about the security and life of the officers themselves. I would like to ask if there's anything as part of a package that is done for protecting their lives, like life insurance, because in UK, having known a lot about the force here and working voluntarily with them, they have got a lot of packages for officers when deaths occur or when they attack hospital care. So I'd like to suggest and see if that's something that I could work with you, Officer Adejobi. Yes. Yes. So that's another thing that I would like to say. And the third one is about an officer, fake officers in GRA. They're always acting as if they're part of a police force. They don't wear their name badge and they are constantly asking for money, harassing people, try to put drug in people's bag. And they operate around, I've seen them twice on the day of Ileya, last past Ileya and other time. And they are not being, can you please encourage more spot check to support the community, because we don't know if these are fake police acting like officers, so they don't destroy the credibility of police officers. So thank you. Please, more spot check. Thank you very much. And thank you to all the speaker and the VIP speakers and everybody. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We believe your question is taken and it will be replied to in due course. The last on my list, I would like to call Mr. Wole Durodolu. Mr. Wole Durodolu, are you there, please? Please, I would like the
thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here.
Perfect. Yeah. Go on, please.
Yeah. Thank you very much for the opportunity. My name is Dr. Wole Durodolu. Well, my question is very simple. I, of course, agree with what the the representative of the IG said that police is a liberal organization that takes up the characteristics of people of the society that produce them. But my question really is about the the fact that the security of a country is directly related to economic prosperity. For instance, in Nigeria, I want to know what the police is doing in relation to the surveillance system of the pipeline of the country. Because out of all the OPEC country, it's only Nigeria that is producing below the required quota. We are producing 1.2 million instead of 2.5 million barrels per day. And this is because of insecurity. Insecurity has reduced our revenue drastically. And maybe because of this tension, there's poverty in the land, people are agitating, and the rest of it. So that's number one. That's about oil and gas. Second one is, what is the police doing to ensure security of farmers? Because the complaint really now is that people are hungry and the rest of it. And people are, the farmers are complaining that, they are finding it difficult to get to their farm and the rest of it. And again, the problem of security have implications for tourism. Many people want to come home, but they are afraid. What is police going to do to ensure that there is complete overhaul of the system? And then, for instance, we have the autonomy of local government. Are we going to have a system in which even local government will have like metropolitan police that we have in other parts of the world? So those are my my questions. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Wole Drodolu. Yes, at this point in time, I would like to yield the floor to our distinguished guest, the ACP, Mr. Olumuyiwa Adejobi. Over to you, sir.
Yes, thank you so much, my brother. That's fantastic. I have many questions to battle with today, but let me try my best to do this. Let me start from Mr. Dr. Moa. He wants to know much about how we monitor conversations, as that was his own intervention. Conversation online, people that want to sabotage the government and the likes. Well, we have some platforms that we use to monitor such, but we actually need to upscale or upgrade the platforms we have. And I want to say openly, okay, for the first time, because of this opportunity I have, that the IGP has acquired the gadget we need to scale this monitoring of a thing. I don't want to dwell to move much or to speak much on that because it's an open conversation. But the IGP has done well in that area to acquire more equipment, more gadgets, and the annual subscription we pay to maintain the platforms IGP has even paid before the end of the year. So I think he's committed to that, and it's the first time an IGP will be up to date as per the renewal of subscription of those platforms. So I give him kudos. For the AC in charge of our technical intelligence unit, we call it TIU, that manages these platforms, told me the IGP has paid, and we are working with other agencies to see what we can do. So in that regard, we are trying our best possible. I don't want to reveal so many things here, but I think it's better than what we used to have in the past. Then Mr. Williams, not only Lagos and Abuja that these protesters want to operate. They have told us they want to have these protests simultaneously across the country. And that's one of the fears we're having, that how can you have protests simultaneously in 36 states, including federal capital territory? How do you manage such a protest? We cannot announce that we don't want to allow any protest. This is democracy. And don't forget, any agency can say it, but police should not be saying that, because we are part of democracy. We are vanguard of democracy. Police must be seen as a democrat, as an institution. So we can't tell anybody not to protest. We can only explain to them, educate them, the dangers and possible dangers we may have if you have such a protest. And the advocacy has been on, the enlightenment program has been on. And I can tell you, like I said earlier on, that many have been trying to withdraw, getting back to their shells, that no, I don't want to go out to, I'm not doing it again. So we need to engage them, and that's what the police we have been doing. You can't stop them not to demonstrate. You can't stop them because the constitution states clearly you can demonstrate, you can come out, you can show your grievances through this, through that. But like I said, your fundamental human right is not absolute. In the same constitution, I will give you provisions that there are limitations to provisions of the law. Any law that does not have limitations is going to die on arrival. So for a law to be effective, for a law to grow well and thrive well, there must be exceptions to this law. So all our fundamental human rights, they have exceptions. The right to life, I think section 33 of the Constitution says you can't take somebody's life. It's the same provision that gives you about 6-7 conditions or 7 conditions that you can take human lives justifiably under the law. So people don't read limitations to provisions of the law. They only read what will benefit them, what will suit them. You have the right to protest. That is the constitution that's telling you there are certain things you cannot do. No, so no fundamental human right is absolute. Where you do your own protest, make sure you don't trample on other people's human rights. When you block the way, somebody is not interested in your protest, for goodness sake. He wants to go and do his business. But you block the major way, Ibadan Lagos blocked, Osogbo road blocked, Maiduguri road blocked. That is something else I want to do their business, for goodness sake. In that regard, you don't expect security agencies to fold their hands and be looking at you blocking major highways. Or you want to shut down the international airports, for goodness sake. So if you want to exercise and you want to enjoy your fundamental human rights, make sure you don't trample on other people's rights. They are entitled to their own rights. That's where conflicts always come up in most cases. So if they want to go out, they can go out, but they should know that we want leaders who can actually make these protests well coordinated. Any protest that is not well coordinated will resort to anarchy, will leave pain, sorrow, and tears in the land. And this is what we don't want. That variable showing well, I said it earlier on that it's laughable that Nigerians always listen to those who are abroad, like some of the fugitives that they are declared wanted, they stay abroad and they still send missiles, quote and unquote, to Nigeria to cause war, to cause problem, to cause brouhaha for us in the country. I know you are aware that there are so many ones that we have declared wanted. They are still abroad. They still do all they like. Even in the southeast, a particular person that has been calling for war in the southeast and is not here. He is always busy in abroad, going to swimming pool, moving with ladies and enjoying himself and calling for war in Nigeria. And foolishly, people are gullible at times. They still, down to the tone of these guys, they kill themselves. And the person that giving you, who is claiming to be your generalissimo, who is your commander, is abroad catching cruise and sending you to go and fight war in Nigeria. I think it's that time we started thinking well, so that we will not be a victim of circumstances. Diplomatically, the Interpol is trying, but you agree with me that we have challenges in this. It's not when you request to any member state of Interpol that they will grant your request that you're actually calling for somebody. It takes time. And that's why you see that the IGP is the head of IGPs in West Africa sub-region, is the chairman of West African Chief of Police Committee. So he's leveraging on this. We have the Vice President Interpol Africa is from Nigeria. So we are leveraging our closeness, our status, our capability on Interpol platform to see how we can improve our working relationship with some of the member states of Interpol. We have written on several occasions to Interpol. We are waiting responses from them. And you understand, we face some challenges, and I'm sure we face challenges when it comes to this. But we are going to break these barriers. A time is coming that it's going to be easier for us when we write to any member states of Interpol that they will release information to us. But we can say we are trying in that regard. And so our image management is not easy, like I said. They can agree with me. If I put like Mr. Tosin that's online now, if I put his number that is the one in charge of palliative in Nigeria, just imagine number of calls you will receive per day, even per hour. So I publish my number is what we can do, like I said earlier on, to get closer to Nigerians. I don't want a situation where we are not accessible, they can't get to us. If you can't get to us anywhere, the communication gap will lead to something else that we cannot be able to manage. So we try our best to manage the image of the force, and it's not easy, but we try to do that. Police force has a very large number of personnel. Like he said in the intro, more than 300,000 personnel, and you know what it is. If Jesus Christ had 12 disciples, and one of them could betray Jesus Christ and the third decided to be a deviant, just calculate the ratio 12-1 and what you can have related to what we have in Nigeria police force with the strength of 300,000 plus. It's not that easy, but we'll try our best to continue to manage the image of the Nigeria police force. Then to Dr. Wole Duro Dolu, security and economy goes together. You have said that, but I can assure you that the federal government is taking the issue of egg thefts very seriously and pipeline vandalism. Not only pipeline vandalism, they will even follow me very well. There was, I think about 3 or 4 days ago, I made a release on oil theft and pipeline vandalism. The IGP has just organized the anti-pipeline task force, IGP task force on pipeline and illegal bunkering, by appointing a deputy commissioner of police who has experience in that field to be in charge. At the same time, you know, we have limitations. Police cannot go beyond a certain distance on the IC. We have our limitations where the Nigerian Navy will take over at a certain distance as well. But we have our catchment areas. We are trying our best. We have done that in so many areas to curb this pipeline vandalism. The oil theft we have now is not on the inland per se now. It's on the IC. And like I said, we have our own limitation. We can't go beyond certain distance where the Nigerian Navy will take charge. And you see too that Nigerian Navy has been tried possible best recovery of many stolen crude oil, seizure of many ships, stolen items, laden with stolen crude oil or petroleum products, taken away from Nigeria. So we know, and it's a great challenge for us because we know it's killing our economy in Nigeria, and that's why last week the president, commander-in-chief, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, summoned the meeting of the service chiefs and the Inspector General of Police to see what we can do on this oil theft. They came back, we had the meeting, and the IGP had the meeting with leadership of NPC to see what we can do about it. I can assure you what we are going to have now is going to be better because recently the Nigerian Army took delivery of some choppers to help us. So by the time we have fine multi-agency collaboration on this, we are going to fight it head-on, and it's going to be a success. Then he said, what are we doing to protect farmers? You know, we have tried in many areas to subdue or reduce headers farmers problem. That is not so very high again, particularly in north central area and to the south generally, apart from the northwest, northeast, north central where we're having banditry. Farmers crises have gone down, but now banditry is a problem. And you know, banditry is just a new phenomenon that came up, and we have taken our time to study the psychology of this particular crime. What is banditry? It's different from terrorism, it's different from insurgency. So another name is banditry. So what is banditry and what are they doing? So it's a very complex concept that we are trying to understand. I do my research work on security studies as well, like in the IGP. We are not just police officers that want to tackle a problem. If you don't study the ingredients of that crime, the psychology of that crime, you will not be able to fight that crime. If you want to settle a conflict, or do analysis of the crisis before you can solve that crisis. So we are doing analysis of this crisis. Like me, I don't other may use methods another method, but I use onion bulb analysis to study some of the crises we have in Nigeria. Onion bulb analysis is giving you WIN, that is WIN win. What is the want? What is the interest? And what is the need? The need of these people is always very hidden. That's why you see the innermost part of the onion. That's what we call the hand, the need. It's very difficult to get. So we are doing analysis of some of these crises to help other agencies too, not just to carry weapons, to carry arsenal of weapons and say, I want to go and find this offense, I want to go and find this crisis. We need to understand why we're having dimensions into some of these crises. Kidnapping is a problem in Nigeria. We are trying to study typologies of kidnapping now. Before, kidnapping was a business. You kidnap, you collect ransom, you release the victim. You got to a stage, that's another dimension, is you kidnap, you got ransom, yet you will not release the victim. Then another thing is you kidnap, you get ransom, you kill the victim. Why? It's a dimension that we need to study. Not just to say we want to fight kidnapping without studying the psychology of these criminals. Why are they collecting ransom and killing the victim again? Then another one is you collect a ransom, you kill the victim, you negotiate again with the relations of the victim to release the corpse to the family. It's not just to carry rifle, AK-47 and carry arsenal and carry your weapons to say you want to address kidnapping. If you don't understand this typology, to study dimensions into this, then the psychology of these criminals, you may not be able to tackle this. So we are going scientific and academic about this to resolve some of these problems, and I think we are getting there gradually. So we also want to appeal to Nigerians to still support us in this regard, particularly the issue of kidnapping. Many farmers, they run away from the farm because they're afraid of kidnapping. But with these dimensions I've just mentioned, you understand that it's getting more complex and we need to work together. So security agencies cannot do it alone. We need to enter academics, people in academics, professionals, experts, whether you're in Nigeria or you're abroad. So if you're a security expert, you need to join us to understand and study why we're having these dimensions and the typology of kidnapping so that we can have a way forward. It's very, very important. I want to attend to Mr. Okay, Mr. Ben, your case is a very special one. The missing of Afiba and Saleh, Nigerian and Ghanaian lady, and the sudden death of Andrew. I was dragged online. You guys dragged me on X. You know, dragging me seriously to giving back to me back to back, and I said, okay. I broke silence and I responded. I saying all of them. I said all of them. He did a good job to an extent to expose certain things, and I actually leveraged my further investigation on the facts released by REC. So I took it up. I told the IG. Personally, I just summoned the commander because I discovered that there were certain things hidden, even to me. So the committee, the team that went to Abia to go and pick Andrew. The case was handled by Abia Command before. But when there were issues, we asked them to go and take over the case from the Abia police. So the policemen that went, we noticed certain lapses, professional gaps. And that's why the IGP ordered that another team should look into it. The team of the IGP, the monitoring team, is looking to the case concerning Afiba, Salem, and the death of Andrew, the UK-based guy. It's quite unfortunate we have lost Andrew. After the death of Andrew, we uncovered so many things. It was obvious that Andrew was into organ harvesting because we recovered a corpse close to Andrew's house, mutilated corpse close to Andrew's house. And the history and testimonies we have been receiving so far are just to buttress the fact that Andrew was not a clean man in Nigeria. And we are told I had a similar case in UK too before I ran back to Nigeria to venture to this business again. As I'm speaking with you, the policemen who went to go and pick Andrew in Abia, they are in detention now. Because we have not actually got to the root of the killing or the death of Andrew. Andrew was killed in a mysterious way. And the accounts we were having from this case are conflicting. So we are digging. That's why I have not come out again to give you any reports. We are widening the scope of the investigation into this case because we need to even know what happened to Afiba and Co. Not only Afiba, they are pending cases before the disappearance of Afiba and her friend and the second girl. So, and even the death of Andrew, who shot Andrew, who killed Andrew, why was Andrew killed? So we need to unravel this. That's why it's not good for me to just be coming and telling you, you know, the guys on social media will always say, that's why they talk. They will not come back. They don't investigate cases. I midwife into issues like this. I am the bridge between the police and members of the public. But they abuse me more than the investigators themselves. But I take it, it's my responsibility. But the fact is, we need to be patient. Investigating a case of this kind is not like a movie. And we don't want 30 minutes to get to the end of a movie. You know, you're watching a movie, it's just 1 hour, 30 minutes maximum. It's not 1 hour to 2 hours in Hollywood. It is not like that when you are investigating a case of this nature. More so, it has to do with murder of people. Homicide cases are very difficult to investigate. So I want to appeal to you, Mr. Ben, the Nigeria 24. Just first, I know you have my information list, or you have my contact list. Be talking. I will update by next week. I'm going to have an interim report, if not the comprehensive report of that case. I'll be able to say something about it. But I can assure you, personally, I have interest in the case because the men who went to go and pick Andrew in Abia lied to me as their officer. They lied to me, they didn't tell me the truth. And I later discovered that they actually lied because of certain revelations from Harrison, who went online, an independent investigator, a blogger who did investigative journalism on them, and were able to get certain information. This is Olu Sheyi from the UK. We have certain resources, we have certain platforms, we have experts who actually work on certain things to locate criminals, to locate complainants, to handle them. We know. We have been managing ourselves in Nigeria. Before that, Nigerians would not even believe in the police. They will not even report any case to the police. But now it's better. We have been having complaints. People complain to us. They relate with us. And they know we give them feedbacks on a regular basis. So most of these complainants we have, to an extent, they always chicken out. At the point they will chicken out because we allow our moral, our cultural values to override our legal framework in Nigeria. When they report the case to me and I summon the policeman, do you know the complainants in most cases will still be crying on the phone? They will fly down to Abuja to come and cry in my office that please, PRO, that policeman must not be dismissed. If he's dismissed, he's going to feed his family. So sentiments always come in when I handle many cases. Many don't even know how to describe me, whether I am a nice man or a wicked man. But all I can say, I'm a principled man. I'm highly disciplined. I hate people to be cheated, and I hate injustice in my life. So I always have difficulties when I handle cases that many complainants in Nigeria against policemen still, at the end of the day, they will still come and beg for them. So we need to balance it so that you be flexible. Don't be a rigid man so that you can be a successful man in Nigeria. Nigerian society is a complex society. So you need to balance it so that you too can be a nice man amongst your colleagues and amongst members of the public. Then you actually read something about fake content, fake news on social media is a big problem in Nigeria. I always raise it, and I was telling the NSA, the National Security Advisor, Malanu Ribadu, one time at a meeting that we need to take the issue of fake news, misinformation, and disinformation very, very serious. You know what we experience in Nigeria now is people who generate old content. Something that happened in 2014, 2015, they will now repackage it and recirculate as if it's a fresh thing. You see, at all times, I always debunk some of these for Nigerians not to have wrong narrative about certain issues. It's a big problem, and I think we can collectively continue to educate our people to do away with spreading of fake news, rejecting fake content. This can eat up the polity, can cause a lot of problems in Nigeria for us. and can make people to pull their trigger and cause problems. So we have our cybercrime unit. Just 4 days ago, the president commissioned Nigerian Police Force National Cybercrime Center, where we have experts. On a lighter mode, I always refer to our officers in that office as certified Yahoo and Google guys. And they do so many things to assist us. So we have that National Cybercrime Center, and we are working with them. And we've been arresting some people who peddle fake news. We've been having issue on Cybercrime Prohibition Act of 2024 as amended. People have alleged us that we are using the act to suppress the journalists. But I've been trying to explain that no, we don't suppress any journalist, we don't suppress any blogger. But the thing is, if you want to push out any content, make sure your facts are real and you have documents, you have things to address your assertion before you push anything online. So Mrs. Lu Shey Ayinde, don't worry, Ayinde is my third name. I love that name. That is why I'm laying emphasis on that name. So Mrs. Ayinde, I want to assure you that when we talk again, you are going to get more facts from us, and we'll be able to explain certain things to you on the issue of fake news, disinformation, our efforts from the office of the National Cybercrime Center of the Nigeria Police Force. Then Mrs. Michelle Akintoye. Land grabbing is a very big problem. In fact, Lagos State has a special law for land grabbing, and it has a special task force for land grabbing. And land grabbing now is spreading like Harmattan fire. I'm from Osun State, Osun State now they are doing land grabbing again. Even in my village, I'm from a very small village like that, they are doing land grabbing again. Even trying to even take my own land. As a prince in my land, they still want to take my land. I know this is so. The way people take land grabbing now is quite unfortunate that we have certain individuals who give them the backing. The IGP recently asked us to send a signal to police officers not to dwell and not to delve into land issues or civil matters, particularly land matters. Some of them want to be using police officers to oppress their opponents, and this will not be allowed. Some lawyers too, they don't help us. So the police, the legal profession, the judiciary should be able to come together and address this problem. And I think we should have special courts on grabbing so that we will be able to dispense some of these cases on time. Spending many years on a case may deter you, may frustrate you as a complainant or plaintiff, and it's not helping our system in any way. So we will try our best possible to work with our governors to see how we can collectively fight land grabbing in Nigeria. In Lagos, I know that Lagos State has a task force. I was in Lagos, I worked in Lagos for years. I know they have that task force. So we just need to our governors to help us. It is not a matter of the federal government. It is what our governors should be able to look into and assist us to handle some of these cases. You learned something about insurance for our officers. Just last month, the IGP was able to have the approval to have Nigeria Police Insurance Company Limited. Is a company that we are going to have to our own. We have life insurance and we have insurance policies that we have been doing. And we have the backing of the federal government now to release certain funds for us to foot some bills and to sustain the Nigeria Police Insurance Company Limited, a company that is our own, that we have time to take care of over 300,000 personnel we have. The IGP has taken it serious. Our men, our fallen heroes, they have been collecting. The next of kin have been having the entitlements and the benefits. We have been doing this on a regular basis. I will continue to do that. So our insurance policies are okay, but we can do better. And that's why we have a company that is going to take charge of that. And for fake officers, I don't want to say some things here, but let me say it so that it can be a sort of warning to those guys. When you are going from, in Lagos in particular, You see that from Bega up to Ishari, towards Long Bridge in Nogun, to Interchange in Shagamu. You see them on uniform left and right. Most of them are fake officers. And we are going to go after them. If they listen to this program, they should know that we are coming after them. It's all of us collectively can address and fight this problem of fake police officers. We arrest them and our men arrest them. But members of the public should help us. A policeman, when you say a policeman, at least you are going to see the traces on him, in him, to be an officer of Nigeria Police Force. From the dressing alone, we should be able to suspect whoever that is a fake policeman. But we keep quiet. We don't allow the police, we don't report these guys to us. And that's why you see many of them in Lagos. Even soldiers. That's why the Nigerian army will always arrest and parade them. So we arrest them, we parade them. But for those who are helping them to get our treatment, to get our kits, to get our uniform, a day is for the thief and many days for the owner. So we are going to go after them, and we are going to get them one after the other. The last one is Dr. Wole Duro. I think I'm answering that one on pipeline. I think those are the questions. And I think I'm within my capability and my little knowledge I have, I think I've done justice to some of these questions and issues raised. So you manage my intellect, manage it. This is how I can answer these questions. But I think I've done something, I've done justice to some of them. But for those who may have further clarifications, I think I have my number everywhere. You can get across to me. I always prefer SMS, except want to do documents, you can go to WhatsApp. But I do direct messages, SMS. It's easier for me than WhatsApp. By WhatsApp, I receive 10,000, 15,000 messages at once. It's very much for me to go into. But SMS is easier for me. But on SMS, we can migrate to WhatsApp. If you want us to go through some documents or videos, fine. Check your video, we can migrate. But if you want to talk to me, don't start with. But for those approach, I can understand. You can easily do WhatsApp. So I will try my best. If I don't respond on time, continue to remind me. It is not easy for me. I have a lot to handle. I have a lot to chew. And I have small mouth. So please manage me, manage the system. We shall get there one day. It is not easy, but I think it's getting better. This is not I made the police when I joined the police in 2005. So it's getting better on a daily basis. I will continue to do what we should to make the Nigerian police force that particular police institution we can all be proud of in Nigeria as a nation. Thank you. That's it from me for now.
Thank you so very much, sir. What more can I say? Because you more or less dealt with every single question more elaborate than I would have thought. Thank you so very much, because what you've just done now is just showing to the whole world why we set up this platform, simply to add value to the government by providing a platform where our leaders can engage freely with Nigerians across the globe. And you have just done that now and more. Thank you so very much, sir. I really appreciate the way you deal with every single question without missing any of them out. Thank you so very much. We appreciate that. I've just been reliably informed that we have some VVIPs from the presidency who are on this platform now. They've been monitoring us for quite a while now. So I just want to use this opportunity to acknowledge them and to appreciate the fact that they have interest in what we are discussing, especially because the topic of today is something that is very germane, given the prevalent tension in the country and the fact that all we're just trying to do here is to douse that tension in our only two ways, to ensure that our people are well informed as to the situation on ground. Thank you so very much, sir, for taking the time out of your very, very busy schedule to come and observe what we are doing here. We really, really appreciate you, sir. And on that same note, I think I just have to apologize to all the other participants who have their hands up, who were meant to draw the curtain at 6 o'clock, but it is now 6:41, so which means we are 41 minutes out of time. So we won't be taking any more questions now, and I seriously apologize for that. What I will say, however, is for those who have their hands up, you can go to the chat room and put your questions there, and given what you've seen of our special guest today, you know that every question you put there will be dealt with thoroughly, and you get a response. Just make sure that when you put your question there, put either your telephone number or your email address, where they'll be able to send you any response to that. So again, once again, apologies for that. I have a couple of hands up, but then we've gone past our time seriously, and we should have drawn the curtain 40 minutes ago, but we're here, still doing what we're doing. Again, on the final note, I just need to say this. I said it at the last Saturday conference where I did a special broadcast to Nigerians at home and abroad. I just want to say this to either the protesters and those who are not protesting. What I have to say is that those protesting and those who are not interested in protest, in the eyes of the law, we all have equal rights. Don't let us get that twisted. You that want to protest and those who do not want to protest, you all have equal rights under the law. Which means if you're going to do your protest, by all means, you have to ensure that the protest is peaceful and does not infringe on other people's rights. Because like I said earlier on, both sides of the equation has equal rights. So if you want to protest, make sure it is very peaceful and you don't infringe on other people's rights. Because the moment you do that, then you are going outside your own rights by infringing on other people's rights. Then that will be against the law. And I'm sure with what we've just had now, the law enforcement agents are ready, to combat anything that would lead to chaos. So for your own interest, especially given the fact that the protest that we are looking at now seems to be that's been organized by people who don't even live in Nigeria. They are cocooned somewhere in a safe haven outside this country, and they are telling people in this country to go on the streets. Their own wives and children are living with them abroad, but they are telling you and I to go onto the street and to protest over what? I still don't know, because whatever it is they put out there has nothing to do with the supposed hunger that they said is in the land. So I just want, like they say in the street, borrow yourself some brain. Don't make yourself a scapegoat to some people who are cooked up in it. Because if they want, what some people were saying, Jagaban himself led the protest. Yeah, he led the protest, but he led from the front. He did not hide in America and tell people to go and protest. So if these people really want to protest, let them come to Nigeria and lead the protest with their wife and children in the front. Then you can then follow. But for them to stay in abroad and be telling you to go on the street and risk your life, for me, like I said earlier on, you have to borrow yourself some brain. Don't let anybody use you as a sacrificial lamb. That is my own take on this. And just going through what our special guests have done today, there's a bit of a takeaway that I just want us to take note of. We were told that the police force now has a specialization. There's a specialization of investigation unit has been set up, who specialize on investigation. So which means there's a form of reform that is going on within our police force. And there's an investigation bureau, which is now been turned into a full-fledged department. That is another reform from our Nigerian police. So many other reforms has been done, especially regarding training of officers and the encouragement of specializations within the force. These are takeaways that we can get that we got from today. Better recruitment process is in place again. That's another takeaway. And he says now he has assured us that the Nigerian police force will handle the protest professionally. And I use that word professionally as the operative word here. He said they will handle it professionally, but that does not mean that when you go outside the ambit of the law, you will still be dealt with professionally. Mark that down. You'll still be dealt with professionally. And we were told again that the Nigerian police force has acquired more gadgets to assist in its operation. So all of this point to the fact that, in as much as our police force is evolving, they're evolving in the right direction. So for me, I feel we should have more confidence now in the Nigerian police force, especially during this protest, to assure ourselves that they will make sure that the protest, that is, if it ever takes place, will not cause chaos within the country, because that is their primary job anyway. So that is what they will do. So again, I wish to thank everybody for always being part of this program, week in, week out. You are always there. Your loyalty is never taken for granted. Thank you ever so much. I believe that next week we will be coming over again to you with another VVIP. The details will be disseminated in the next couple of days. So please watch this space. We will be coming back again to you. I won't have time now to be acknowledging the other stakeholders who has been gracious with their time to be attending our conference every week because of time factor, because it's about 6:47 now. So please do bear with me. But then I cannot leave without giving a huge thanks to Ben TV, the first Nigerian African TV digital channel in Europe, led by its CEO, Alistair Shoyode, for your continued support for Nigerians in diaspora and support for good governance in Nigeria. Thank you so very much. And thanks also to other media partners like Parrot Reporters Media Limited, the Reflector newspaper, and Nigeria 360, who are equally supporting and propagating the image of the Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference. You are all appreciated. So I wish, it's like I said, I don't have the time now to be calling on all the leaders and who have been with us all this. So just please pardon me. Well, we will make sure that we make time for that next week. Lastly, I wish to appreciate my co-hosts who do the backroom work to ensure a smooth conference every week. Honorable Jacob Okushe, Hajia Kiabendo Abubakar, Udeme Ukwe, Shiobai, also known as Goyo, and Toshi Olayinka. This wouldn't have been possible without you guys. Well done. So, like I said earlier on, next week we will be the next couple of days we will be announcing the details of our next VVIP who will come again to have an engagement with us. So lastly, let me say a big thank you again to the representative of the Inspector General of Police in the person of Prince Olumuyiwa Adejobi. Thank you ever so much, because you, trust me, you blow my mind today with the way you handle all the questions professionally and eloquently. You broke everything down to a layman's language that even me, as a bloody civilian, as they call us, I seem to understand everything that you're saying and where you're coming from. Thank you ever so much, sir. We really, really, really appreciate your presence here. And if they say somebody represents someone, you did that so well today. Thank you ever so much, sir. I hope maybe in the next couple of years, I hope to bring you back here now as the next IGP, sir. That is my prayer for you. Thank you so very much, sir. I really do appreciate that. So this is where we draw the curtain. Again, I apologize to other participants who couldn't fill their questions, but like I said, you can always go to the chat room and put your questions there, or send it to us by our email at info@renewedhope.globalconference.com. So thank you ever so much. I will use the floor now to the matron of the house, Hajia Rekia Bello Abubakar, to give us the closing remarks. Thank you so very much. You have the floor now, Hajia.
Thank you, Chief Host, Barrister JK. This is where we draw the curtain on today's conference. I'd like to thank the representative of our special guest, ACP Adejobi, and who enlightened us on the remarkable work of the law enforcement agency. Honestly, the timing of today's event couldn't have come at a better time, bearing in mind the situation at hand about protest or no protest in Nigeria. Thank you also to our participants who joined us from locations all over the world. We hope you enjoyed our event as much as we enjoy putting it together. Join us again next week for another exciting event. On behalf of our Renewed Hope Global Virtual Town Hall Conference team, have a great weekend. I am, as always, yours truly, Hajia Rekia Bello Abubakar. Thank you, and God bless Nigeria.
Thank you, Hajia, for that closing remarks. And I think, like I said earlier, here is where we'll draw the curtain. So keep your diary free for next week. Saturday or Sunday, we'll come your way again with another VVIP who will come again and join with us. And between now and then, please keep safe. And for those of us who are not interested in the protest, please let's keep safe and make sure that we don't put ourselves in harm's way. And I pray that God will save Nigeria and save us from ourselves. Thank you so very much and good night. Thank you.